So this was another one that someone sent in, like a specific problem that somebody sent in today. So sorry.
Salud.
I'm so sorry. Ugh. Sorry. Okay. A pole is 24 feet high, has a shadow that is 8 feet long. A nearby pole is 72 feet high. How long is the shadow? So here you have a proportion problem. In the first one, you have 24 feet high and the shadow is 8 feet long. So when you're working with proportions, and some of you were here last class, remember the strategy is with the categories. So here I'm gonna have two categories. I have the height of the pole, I have the length of the shadow, and I have the first pole, and I have the second pole. So the height of the first pole is 24 feet. And the length of the first shadow is 8 feet. The height of the second pole is 72 feet. And the question is, what will be the length of that shadow? Okay. Sorry. So again, proportions, cross multiply and divide. So we're gonna have 72 times 8 divided by 24. So we have 72 times 8 is going to be 16. That's going to be 16 plus 1 is 7. No, sorry. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, guys. What am I doing? 72 times 8. Sorry. Okay. 2 times 8 is 16. 1, that's going to be 56 plus 1 is 57. Okay. 576 divided by 24. 576 divided by 24. So 24 fits into 57 twice. Yeah. Oops. Twice. That's going to be 48. That's going to be 9. Bring down the 6. And I believe that's going to be 4, but let's double check. 24 times 4 is going to be 16. Yes. So it's going to be 4. So that means that the length of the shadow of the second pole is going to be 24 feet. Okay. Any questions? Everybody okay so far?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, so somebody asked me to go over questions that had 2 proportions, and I'm not sure what that means, but I think it meant one of these problems. So I hope I'm right. Okay, so in this problem, this is a rates problem, but there's like 2 rates going on at the same time. So in this type of problem, you are going to need 2 proportions, because the answer of the first proportion will then help you get the answer of the second proportion, which will give you your final answer, if that makes sense. So in this question, it says Jacob drove 3 hours at 65 miles per hour. His car used 1 gallon for every 15 miles. How many gallons of gasoline did Jacob use? So you want to organize all of your information. You have 2 rates going on. The first rate is 65 miles per hour. How do I know that's a rate? Because of this very important So it's a rate. And over here we have our second rate, which is 1 gallon for every 15 miles. So your final answer has to be gallons. So we know that in the end, we're looking for gallons. In order to figure out how many gallons, it's 1 gallon gives you 15 miles. And you're wondering how many gallons, but you don't know the total number of miles that you drove. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good now. You were talking like an alien at first.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's still the same thing.
Been doing it for 12 years.
Does that sound a little better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. Now give me 1 second because
Can you repeat everything, please?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Give me a minute. Sorry. Yeah. Do you need me to start from the beginning?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Whew. Okay. So, as I was saying, but I went a little crazy. So, you have 2 proportions because you have 2 rates. Our final answer is going to be to figure out the gallons. So, we don't know how many gallons, and we also don't know the total number of miles that we drove. So in the first proportion, you're missing 2 pieces of information. So that means that the second proportion is going to provide you with one of those. This is going to provide you with the total number of miles that you drove. Because if you get 65 miles in 1 hour and you drove for a total of 3 hours, that's going to give you the total number of miles. And once you have this, you can bring it over here. So cross, multiply, and divide. 65 times 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you. 65 times 3 is going to be, let's see, this is 15. That's going to be 18 plus 1, that's 195. So they drove a total of 195 miles. And that value is now going to go in here, 195. Now I can solve the second proportion. Cross, multiply, and divide. 1 times 195 is 195. Sorry. So the total number of gallons is going to equal to 1 times 195, which is 195, divided by 15. 195 divided by 15 is going to be, that's going to fit in there once. So that's going to be 15. It's going to be 4. Bring down the 5 would be 45, which is 3. So that's going to equal a total of 13 gallons. So Jacob drove a total of 195 miles, and he needed to use a total of 13 gallons. So this rate problem is a little bit, I guess you could say, like as complicated as it gets, because you are dealing with 2 rates simultaneously. And until you figure out the first one, you are not going to be able to figure out the second one. Okay?